folks, welcome back. This is John Pettipas recording at 20 minutes before 10 o'clock in the morning on the morning of Thursday, the 27th day of August, 2020. Welcome back, all our wonderful folks out there in computer land, YouTube land, and on the internet. I have a new subscriber from Africa. Hello, buddy in Africa. We have Australia, Africa. I don't know if there's somebody in Europe, but we have South America, North America. Said, I'm very proud of a subscriber from Africa. Bless your heart. Thank you very much for your faith and confidence and giving your time and to follow me. Appreciate that. Thank you. Now, this morning I'm going to speak on politics in Canada. I was going to do one in our upcoming presidential election in America, but I decided to do this one. I'll have lots more to say. This gentleman here, great guy, Erin O'Toole. Now, as you know, I'm in Track in Antigonish County, Nova Scotia, and it's next door to Central Nova, which Peter McKay represented one time. His father, Elmer, was a very decent man. I always felt, and I don't say this out of malice, I always felt that Peter McKay is very similar to Justin Trudeau. They're both second generation, actually, Justin Trudeau's case, third generation. I guess McKay's are third generation as well. But I believe in character. And in my opinion, neither Trudeau or Peter McKay, let's be diplomatic this morning, neither one of them has any surplus of character in them. And I believe, my God, character counts. Character counts. They're glitzy, photogenic, but not a lot of substance and character. That's my opinion, and I've said it before. I said it privately, and I said it certainly publicly on Trudeau on a number of occasions, and I'm saying it publicly on the boy up in Pictou County that was unsuccessful in getting the Conservative leadership of Canada. After all, it is the Conservative Party of Canada, even though Peter will always say, well, I was a co-founder of the Conservative Party of Canada. Look, I was on the Reform Party executive, even though I always vote Liberal provincially. Federally, I've only voted Liberal 3 times in my life. Alan J. McKay in 1979, first time I was old enough to vote. 1980, when Joe Jerk Guy government was defeated in February 1980. And I voted for Roger Cuzner. Only time I could vote for Roger was the time when his ride was extended into Auld, Cove, Antigonish County. Before that, it went to the county line, went up to Mulgrave and down to Shore Council and so on. Great people over that way too, for sure. Anyway, they take and I voted Reform Party. We had Howard McKinnon. We had another gentleman run. We had some good candidates. It was a minority party at that time to vote in Reform Party. Then after they merged with us, I should say, the little rump of the crew that was left of the PC Party Canada, merged with us in the Reform Party, and formed the Conservative Party Canada. And I started voting for Peter McKay. It's one of these things in life, you've got to hold your nose and vote for somebody because you love the at that time, the opposition leader, Stephen Harper, and then Prime Minister for 3 terms. The only Conservative Prime Minister ever got 3 terms in, I don't know since when. A totally rootless guy would have been Robert Laird Borden. He would have made a deal with anybody. Anyway, it was a very strange relationship. I'm going to digress here. Very strange relationship between former Prime Minister Harper and Peter McKay. They tolerated one another. Anybody knows anything, you don't have to have inside information. Those guys tolerated one another. You'll see a brother and a sister in the family happen sometime. 2 sisters will do it. 2 brothers, whatever, siblings. They'll tolerate one another. As long as mom and dad's alive, they'll get it along. And that's about it. Most Christian can say they tolerate one another. Well, those guys, no love lost between Peter McKay or Prime Minister Harper for good reason with Peter McKay. Mind you, Peter McKay famously said, if you will elect me leader of the PC Party Canada, I will never merge with those radical reformers. No. Now, I'm going to go on here a bit. Not all, because there's some very decent Conservative people I know that are really good, true Conservatives. From New Waterford to Tracadie to Pictou County and so on. As a general rule in Pictou County, reporter told me one time, they're red Tories. They're not very conservative. I mean, after all, when Darrell Dexter became Premier, Peter McKay's riding, Pictou West, Charlie Parker, Pictou Centre, which is in Glasgow Stellarton, Ross Landry, Pictou East, McKinnon Guy, all 3 Pictou seats voted NDP. That's a fact. They all voted NDP. So if they were die-hard Reform Conservatives, Pictou County, all 3 provincial seats wouldn't have went NDP. So when I say they're red Tories, I'm not being disparaging. A lot of Tories in this area don't like President Trump. Now, mother of God, how you can call yourself a conservative, progressive conservative, a little conservative, and not like President Trump? There's something wrong. Okay? Anyway, we have in this morning's paper, O'Toole is accusing Trudeau of trying to force the snap election. Well, Erin O'Toole, the future Prime Minister, is not playing politics. It's just stating obvious. Okay? Now, Trudeau only got elected. He got elected handily in October 2015. He got elected by his teeth with a minority government in October of 2019. And so here we are, only late August. So we're only 10 and a half months into his mandate. So if that little boy, Regan Ottawa, is going to pull election, well, I think it's going to backfire. It's going to backfire. That's my opinion. It's going to backfire on him. But we have Erin O'Toole is a very decent gentleman. Is he? Hall is a decent gentleman. He's actually younger than Trudeau. Decent guy. Okay, he's not anorexic, obviously, but he's not obese, but just a regular guy like you'd see in the street somewhere. So he could be the bus driver, it could be the priest or minister, it could be your teacher, whatever, fellow going to work on the subway this morning. Whatever. The decent fellow. I remember when Jean Chrétien got elected Prime Minister in 1993. After the cocky, snotty attitude, haughty attitude of Brian Mulroney, Jean Chrétien, folksy, down-to-earth guy, was very acceptable to Canadian people. After the showboy, almost 5 years of showboy Justin Trudeau, Erin O'Toole, a true conservative, a real conservative, I believe will be, Canadian people decide, but I believe will be very acceptable for the Canadian people. I want to also give a shout out to Leslyn Lewis, Dr. Leslyn Lewis. I seen a couple of her clips and said, boy, this lady speaks well. She has ideas and the courage of her, but no courage of her convictions. Nobody, not the Halifax Herald, not the Globe and Mail, certainly not the Communist Broadcasting Company Canada, nobody gave her the time of day. A very capable lady. And she is going to play an important part in this new government when they are elected, when election is eventually called, of Prime Minister Erin O'Toole. Okay, but that was, I don't play the racist card, but that was blatant racism. Because of her ethnicity, and she was conservative. Now, if she was a liberal or NDP, she wouldn't get any work done. They'd want wall-to-wall interviews and profiles and magazine interviews. They ignored her, and that's wrong. But to the credit the people that voted, the big numbers of the Conservative Party Canada, she did very well. Another time she maybe would have won the race, and maybe she will in the future. She gets profiled and being in cabinet member in the elected House of Commons and cabinet. Maybe she does become Prime Minister someday, and from what I've seen so far initially, she'd be a fine choice. But this is a good man, Erin O'Toole. The party selected well, not what some of the folks around here wanted to just go on Peter like a little cult or something. This man is a man of substance, down-to-earth folk. And I'm certain, good Lord willing, he's going to go over well with the people of Canada. And Justin Trudeau, the way he's handing out money, mother of God, where does this stop? I spoke to someone today, her husband's in his early 80s. He worked beyond the normal retirement. He's been retired now for, 12, 13 years. He never made, brought home a paycheck, what people are being given by Justin Trudeau to stay home and not work. It's wrong. It's wrong. I'm not jealous of that, but it's wrong. It's just wrong, plain, rotten, stupid, idiotic. And we do not Justin Trudeau prorogate Parliament. Well, sooner he goes, the better. But if that guy pulls a stunt of having election this fall, unless he's defeated by the parties gang up on him, okay, 10.5 months into a federal election. That's normally not when you call election. I'm pretty certain it'll backfire. So give this gentleman a time of day. Learn about him. He's a good man. He's a solid character. His mother died when he was 9 years old. He learnt life in the School of Hard Knocks. He served his country for 20 years in the military, and he's a good, solid guy. And one more thing. Somebody made a comment one time, we don't need another premier from Pettipas County. Well, we don't need another Prime Minister from Quebec, and I'm three-quarters French, so you can't accuse me of being bigoted. It's time that Ontario, the economic engine in this country, has a Prime Minister. And that Prime Minister, good Lord willing, is going to be Mr. Erin O'Toole, who the voters will decide, make him the Right Honourable Erin O'Toole. With that, I got to go. It's time flies. Boy, oh boy, it's 10 minutes to 10 o'clock in the morning, on the morning now of Thursday, the 27th day of August, 2020. And I want to thank all you wonderful subscribers who've been pressing the subscribe button, and all your viewers and all your commenters. It's sincerely appreciated. Till next time, this is John Pettipas wishing all you wonderful folks all the best, and God bless. Thank you very much. Bye for now.